Whether he's out at work for the day or you're away for a weekend, a sign of a great relationship is that he misses you when you're not around. Or more specifically, he thinks about you and looks forward to seeing you next. So today, we're going to reveal 5 ways to make a man miss you. Some of these tips may shock you, but stay tuned because these are based on proven psychological research. And for some of you, a subtle change from what you uncover here may lead to life-changing differences in your relationships with men. Plus, coming up, we'll tell you how you can get a free gift: the top 7 man-melting phrases that make men fall for you. This gift is all yours, completely free of charge, so stay tuned to find out how you can get your hands on it. But for now, let's begin our 5 ways to make a man miss you. Tip number 1. Choose an attitude of optimism. One of the most attractive traits that men find in a woman is her feminine bounce or optimism. And several studies have proven that optimism does lead to better success in relationships. For example, in 2006, the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology published a study that had been carried out on hundreds of couples who either had 1 or 2 optimistic partners or had no optimistic partners. The researchers found that those couples that included at least 1 optimistic partner reported far greater relationship satisfaction 1 year later than those who were neutral or pessimistic. And what's really interesting is that when probed further, optimists and their partners, even if their partner was a pessimist, saw each other as engaging more constructively during relationship conflicts, which in turn led both partners to feel that their arguments were better resolved. So, that's great. Optimists tend to have better relationship success. But here's something that's also very interesting. Less women are optimists than men. That means optimistic women are scarce. And it's no wonder that studies also show that women who are optimists are seen as more attractive and exciting by men. The thing is, optimists and pessimists are often both right when a particular situation occurs. Like, if a man is home late, an optimistic woman may simply think he's working hard at work and feel like greeting him with a bouncy smile and a hug when he comes home to help boost his energy and give him a nice start to the evening. Whereas a pessimist may think that he values his work too highly and gets frustrated that he's working late too often. In this situation, the man may actually dread coming home each night if he's running late because he's worried how she may react. Both women are right, but the woman who has the optimistic trait is the one who gets thought about and missed more while she's not around. That's not to say any woman needs to sacrifice having her needs met. If something is important to an optimist, they'll usually pick their battles and try to see his side of it too when having a discussion about an issue that needs resolving. Now, let's move on to tip number 2. Never sacrifice your deepest interests just to keep him interested. Most women have at least one thing in their life that they love doing as a hobby or interest that they find deeply satisfying and don't feel quite as whole without it. Whether that be scrapbooking, playing a sport, baking cakes, organising parties, reading books, or even chatting with friends, it's so important to keep at least one, if not all, of your major interests still going when you're in a relationship. If you lose yourself in trying to mimic what you think are his ideals or trying to just please him, you not only have less fun in your life, but you actually become less attractive in the process. The less you value yourself and your needs, the less he sees you as a woman of value. Remember, no matter how great you think the man is, never ever settle or sacrifice your deepest passions just to be with him. If he's a truly great man, he will love seeing how lit up you get when you're living your best life and will support you in your dreams. Tip number 3. When he feels appreciated and respected, he misses you more when you're not around. Men and women are wired differently when it comes to the importance of love, appreciation, and respect. Numerous studies have confirmed this, Here's an example of one study carried out by Emerson Eggerichs, the best-selling author of Love and Respect. He surveyed 400 males and 400 females and asked each participant the question: if you were forced to choose one of the following, which would you prefer to endure? To be left alone and unloved in the world, or to feel inadequate and disrespected by everyone? His findings revealed that 74% of men prefer to feel alone and unloved, rather than disrespected and inadequate, while the majority of women stated that they would prefer to be loved. Based on this information, Eggerichs concluded that a wife needs love just as she needs air to breathe, and a husband needs respect just as he needs air to breathe. Many other studies have confirmed similar findings, yet women tend to show love for their men more than they show appreciation and respect, and vice versa. Men often show more respect for their partner than they show their love. Many women completely underestimate the importance of respect and appreciation to a man, and if they don't choose their words wisely, they push him away in the relationship. If a man feels inadequate, or that it's not genuinely possible to make his wife or girlfriend happy, then he loses his feelings of self-worth. And ultimately, he loses that feeling that she is the one. Women who communicate any criticism to a man in a more constructive way tend to have far greater success with men. He never feels like he's walking on eggshells around her, and he misses her when she's not around. There is a key difference between nagging and constructive criticism. Nagging is when criticism, or even a reminder, is directed at someone in a tone that sounds like you're telling someone off, and it's delivered in a way where your man feels like you think he's hopeless. Whereas constructive criticism is where you keep a tone of optimism within any criticism, and even offer to help if you think he may need it. Also, if you're going to criticize someone, and this goes for men who are criticizing women also, it's really important to make sure that in your regular daily life, you are actively showing respect and appreciation a lot more often than you are criticizing. The human condition is to look for problems and to try to solve them. So it's easy to get in a mode of telling someone off when they do something wrong, but the truly remarkable woman, or man for that matter, is the one who also takes the time to notice what is going right in their life, and the good things that they appreciate in their partner. So make sure to tell him what you appreciate about him on a regular basis. Whether it's his sense of humor, his hard work ethic, or his ability to fix things around the house, let him know what you admire about him. Be respectful of his opinions and feelings, even if you don't agree with them. It's okay to disagree, but do so respectfully. Avoid getting into arguments or heated debates. Instead, try to find common ground and compromise whenever possible. Criticism is okay in a relationship and can be healthy, but it should be constructive, not destructive. If you have something negative to say, make sure you do so in a way that is respectful and helpful rather than hurtful or critical. For example, instead of saying, "You're lazy," try, "I noticed that you didn't take the trash out this morning. Can I help you with that?" With this attitude of appreciation and respect, he will miss you so much more when you're not around, and will be far more likely to fall even more deeply in love. In fact, men will go out of their way for someone who makes them feel good about themselves, even if it means sacrificing their desires for the sake of pleasing her. Showing your appreciation for him makes a big difference to how he feels about you and the future actions that he takes. This brings us to tip number 4. Have more sex with him. It's almost taboo to say this. The feminist thing to say is to make him work for it and to hold out until he is being the perfect husband or boyfriend. But in reality, the opposite is true. The more fulfilled he is sexually, the more on top of the world he feels, and the more likely he is to think about you when you're not around and want to do nice things for you. I'm not saying you should give in to him every time he makes an advance, but certainly never use sex as a manipulation tool to get what you want. When you hold back on sex in a way that means you're having it less than you otherwise would, for the sake of getting something you want, you're actually polluting your relationship for the both of you at the same time. Men and women receive differing amounts of positive endorphins in the brain from doing different things. So it's no wonder their desire levels for sex, romance, and intimacy play out differently also. This evolution has happened over thousands of years. It's not something we can convince a man to change, just like we can't convince ourselves to change what we desire in a man. In primitive times, men who had more sex had more children, and passed their genes onto future generations. Women, on the other hand, who had a partner who stayed with her and helped her raise the children, also were more successful at ensuring the survival of her offspring. And women who had a lot of partners that did not stick around may not have been able to protect their offspring from predators or nourish them properly, and hence did not have as many surviving offspring. So their genes did not pass on to future generations. So it's not surprising that sex is hardwired to be hugely important to most men. While women do desire sex too, they value his character traits even more highly. So, as you can see, it's not men or women who are in the wrong here. This is purely a biological trait that has evolved over time. Men have an inbuilt biological need for more physical connection, respect, and appreciation. Women have an inbuilt biological need for love, resources, and a man of excellent character. And by the way, sex doesn't necessarily need to be all about going all the way. Cuddling, making out on the couch, even a nice back rub all go a long way for both men and women to bring each other closer together. This brings us to tip number 5. Be a woman of high value. There's a saying that goes, if you value yourself highly, he'll believe it too. And a lot of women out there proclaim to value themselves highly, but their habits in life give away that somewhere in their subconscious lurks a feeling of low self-worth. And it's hard to hide that when you're in a long-term relationship with a man. While men are naturally drawn to being the hero in their partner's life, they want to be the hero to a woman of value, and are less drawn to a woman who values herself below him. It might sound counterintuitive. If you do everything you can to please your man, surely he'll love you more? It's not that simple. I'm not talking about game playing here. If you're both mutually putting in the same efforts to please each other, that's fantastic. But when a woman becomes a doormat, someone who does everything she can to please him, and he just takes her for granted, then there's a problem. The woman of value knows she's a prized gem, and also knows she's with a great man. So she treats him well, but expects him the same in return. She has hobbies and interests of her own, she has her own friendships, and she is positive, vibrant, and people look up to her. She rarely talks negatively about other people, and instead spends more time talking people up and lifting people up when they need or deserve it. She doesn't get jealous of other people's success. Instead, she gets inspired by it and is happy for them. She always takes care of her appearance because she wants to look in the mirror and love what she sees. But she doesn't do it to please a man. She judges herself based on what she thinks, not on what her friends or her man thinks. When he compliments her, it's the icing on the cake, but she knows she's great whether or not anything gets said. Men are captivated by women of value. They want to do nice things for her. They are lucky to be in their presence and treat them like the prize they truly are. Women of high value are a challenge. There's push and pull. She's not afraid to say something sarcastic and funny. If he doesn't see the humor, then that's on him, not her. Sometimes she's a little too busy for him, and that's okay because she's living her best life, and it makes him want to chase her and place high value on the time he has with her. All of this does not mean you have to live independent and separate lives. The greatest relationships are interdependent, which means that you enjoy the time you're together and the time you have apart. And the time you have apart actually brings you closer together anyway, and keeps life interesting and exciting. So this is your green light to live your best life. Challenge him. Explore your own hobbies and interests too. You don't always have to be available to him, and if he's ever being a jerk, it's okay to call him out. Showing that you hold yourself in high esteem is very attractive. Being a woman who radiates such high value makes him love and desire you more. and makes him miss you even more when you're not around. So that brings us to the end of today's video. I've covered 5 ways to make a man miss you. If you liked the video, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Do you have any comments about this video? Are there more tips that you think should have been shared? Please share any you may have in the comments below. Do you disagree with anything that's been said? Feel free to comment on that also. I love to hear what you have to say. And also, make sure to click the link in the description below to grab your free gift from us, the top 7 man-melting phrases that make men fall for you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye for now.